Happy Mola Monday, Episode 7, and welcome to this week's Hall of Trials video. This week we'll be fighting the Rampaging Death Dealer Ray. This fight, you're going to want a Soul Weaver in the front to get the greater attack buff on the back row hero, and most importantly, you're going to want to make sure you don't have any light or dark heroes on the team, only RGB units. The Soul Weaver in the front, you're going to want to be one that has an AoE attack on an S1. Sounds a lot like Tamarin, doesn't it? So I think this fight darn near requires Tamarin in the front, but we might find other ways to do it. Let's just jump in real quick and show you how this team runs, and then we'll get into what you should do as far as building units in preparation for this. So at the start of the fight, Ray throws his poison vial on you, putting an irresistible 2 venoms on everybody, doing a significant amount of injury. Looks like it's going to be a Schneil fight, don't you guys think? For this to run, I have to run 2 Soul Weavers. You could probably get away without running 2, but I just put this team together real quick this morning, and it seemed to do okay. We use Acades to cleanse the debuffs off. I got my Sirmia on her number 1 EE for the double hits. Hopefully that procs inside the break phase, not just outside the break phase. You're going to need a provoke, an AoE provoke skill. That means pretty much Fire Cecilia or Senya could work, although Senya's only an 85% proc rate. You can use provoke, you can use the reverse provoke skill, so you can use Fairy Tale Tenebria. You can also use silence. So if you've got the correct EE, you can use Euphiene. You'll make sure you got the right EE to give you the 100% chance to silence. Otherwise, like Senya, you're at a 15%, missing that. The reason that you want silence, redirect provoke, or regular provoke is when those 2 front mobs proc their the little special buff over top of their heads, you need to provoke both of them, then they kill themselves and it pushes phase. So we're going to sandbag Cecilia's S3 so that we can save that for the provoke. You can see why with all the injury, all the pop damage, I kind of need 2 healers to stick with this. Remember, single target provokes won't work. If you single target provoke the mobs, they just cleanse it. So you notice both of them have the overdrive buff on them. Make sure you cleanse the blind off of your provoker, or you're at the mercy of 50% on sticking your provokes. I'm going to save the S3 for inside of the break phase. Sirmia is just smacking for some extra damage and some points. We'll go ahead and just S1 here. We're not hurt enough to need the healing yet. Okay, here comes Fire Cecilia. Oh, wait, one more turn. Okay, now Fire Cecilia S3s, as long as you're not blinded, it's guaranteed. There's no 15%ing or ER needed. It's ignore ER, so don't worry about building effectiveness on your Cecilia. And you notice once they're provoked, they basically kill themselves. Once they kill themselves, you get the 5 stacks onto the cooldown bar, and then it's just a matter of 1 or 2 more hits to push phase. And there we go. We've pushed phase. Now, inside of the break phase, when you use a AoE attack on the frontline unit, it CR pushes up Tamarin. So let's see. I'm sorry, it CR pushes up the back row damage unit, in this case Sirmia. Now if it's just a regular S1, you notice no CR push. So you gotta go ahead and transform her so you can get the AoE pushes. You see right here it says when using an attack that targets all enemies. So even though there's only 1 enemy, it's still got to be an AoE attack to get the CR push. So we'll cleanse and heal up a little bit here. Unfortunate wasted attack. I'll just use the S3. Now watch when Tamarin transforms here. Now watch Sirmia on the CR bar. When I use this S1 skill, you'll notice the CR pushes her 50%. Down she goes. So now Sirmia can do her attack. Do we get a double hit? Now double hits do take 2 ticks off of the CR bar, but it's still nice to get them, right? Especially when we've got the destruction buff. I put Ahmed's artifact on Sirmia. There's 1 hit. Do we get a second one? We don't. And unfortunately, because I kind of whiffed the first stage with my Tamarin, we only got 2 attacks in, so my damage is kind of low. Normally, I'd like to exit this stage with 5 to 6 million points. Okay, now we just do the same thing again. We got to get back to the point where Ray poisons everybody and the mobs in the front put up their overdrive skill so that we can provoke them and push phase. So I'm just going to use my S1 skill because why not? Get a stack on the board. We'll cleanse away all of these venoms with Acades. I might as well just S2, S3 here. Now remember, you don't want to use Sirmia's S3 inside of the break phase. Sirmia's S3 hits extra hard because it's got 50% defense penetration on it. But inside the break phase, the boss has 0 defense. That's why you don't ever use Pen Set for Hall of Trials. There's no defense to penetrate, so you get no benefit out of that. Her S1 actually hits significantly harder than her S3 inside the break phase, inside the weakness phase. But outside, the boss has defense, so good time to unload the S3 just for extra points. We got to save the S3 on Cecilia so that we can provoke. Nice bit of damage. I'm going to go ahead and hold off here. I think we can survive another hit. Sirmia's getting a little bit low on health. Ray's next turn should push phase. We'll top off the healing here. Acades, I should save the S3 so I can cleanse. So I'm just going to S1 so I've got the S3 that I can cleanse these debuffs. Oh, you know what? Tamarin was going to cleanse anyway. I've got to cleanse with Tamarin. Each one of those poisons is 5% of the health bar. And you can see that probably kills my Sirmia. So let's go ahead and transform. We'll cleanse everything. Go ahead and just push up. Why not? Now remember, inside the break phase, you do get some cooldowns on Tamarin, so you can go ahead and transform here. It's okay. Just try to stall a couple of rounds to get her skill cooldowns down enough that she will have her S3 ready inside of the break phase. We do the AoE provoke. Since I'm not blinded, it'll guarantee stick the provoke on everybody. There we go. He pops himself. He pops himself. 5 stacks onto Ray. Now we just need 2 hits on Ray. 1 more hit on Ray. That one doesn't count. Okay, I could stall it out for another round on Tam, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and push phase. So we smack Ray, that pushes us into the break phase. Now watch Sirmia. If I S1, Sirmia 50% down the CR bar. Sirmia hits, we don't get an extra attack. I'm going to S1 again, down the CR bar goes Sirmia. We will S2 here, which should push Sirmia a little bit. I guess she was already at the bottom of the CR bar. Well, S1, smack, we don't get an extra attack. Gotta waste an attack with Cecilia. Now we've got enough skill cooldowns inside the break phase. We can go right back into our S3 again, and we can S1. This will push Sirmia down the CR bar. We get another big hit by Sirmia. Smack. Well, S3, that'll push Sirmia a little bit, I believe. There we go. And unfortunate, even if I S1, it's going to be too many hits, it'll push phase. But this is part of the tuning, right? I really need to speed tune this team a little bit better so that we cycle faster than Cecilia does. When you see my gear at the end of this, I think you're going to understand why the tuning's kind of a little bit bad. Okay, we're into the last round. We got 9 million points. I'm just going to rip the raw S3. I don't want to S2, S3. I don't want to take any additional venom damage, any more than I have to. S1 for a chip on the weakness bar. Ooh, this is unfortunate. I'll do this. Hopefully she laps. You know what? I'm just going to transform. I don't want to have any more injury than I've already got. We'll push everybody up and give a big heal. We'll go ahead and smack, and we did not get a second attack. Leave poor Sirmia alone. He will actually never leave poor Sirmia alone. Ray is coded to always hit the back row unit, so be prepared for your back row to take a lot of hits. Now you can consider using a back row unit that self-heals like Galililius. Just make sure she never S3s, or S3 will hit terrible. In the break phase. Only use S1, self-heals. You could use Millum, but realize you'll never get Dragon Busters because this fight does not allow you to build focus or fighting spirit. Resources are turned off. You could use SC Carmen Rose. She actually self-heals on her S1 and hits pretty hard, so you got some options. I've seen people use Luna. They're trying for that extra strong S1 hit. You could use Euphine. Euphine gives you the double-edged sword of she has got an AoE silence and a damage dealer, so it lets you replace Cecilia with a secondary damage dealer, so you can run 2 damage dealers on the team. So you got a lot of options for this. Okay, we're all poisoned up. We're going to have to rely on Tam to keep us healthy. You notice the blind on Cecilia. You need to make sure that blind is cleansed. Fortunately, our Arcades is ready to go with her S3. That gets rid of the blind. We'll be able to safely use the S3 for AoE provoke. Smack, and here comes the provoke. Everybody's provoked, so the ads will now kill themselves. 1 down, 2 down, 5 ticks added to Ray's bar, which took us right into the break phase. This is actually really good timing. We've got the destruction and the greater attack buff on Sirmia for 1 round. So we'll go ahead and transform. And we will S1. Sirmia pushes up. Do I get the double tap from Sirmia? 1 hit. Nope. Don't get the double tap. I'll S2. And then we S1 with Tam. Sirmia gets pushed up. We attack again. 1 hit. Up. We got the double hit. We do have to waste a hit because of Cecilia. Is what it is. Be nice to find an AoE provoke unit that has a non-attack skill so that we can skip around. And remember, you cannot use light and dark units, so nobody tell me all about using ML Lua. She will not work. I mean, I guess you can, but you lose like all your damage. Okay, so we got 1 more hit. Do I get a second hit? 1 hit, and did not get the last hit. So there we go, 16.1 million. Not the most phenomenal score, but you know, we take it. It's probably only like maybe top 5% or so. But it is what it is. Oh, damn. Okay, no, it's 7th place. Yikes. Anyway, here's my advice, guys. Build better units. You notice my Cecilia wasn't even wearing gear. You notice my Arcades is slow and missing armor. I do like the Fan of Light and Dark on her. I do like Rise of the Monarch on Cecilia to give Sirmia a barrier. I think that's part of what helped keep her alive. Sirmia, I've just got on Cruel Mischief for big damage. Rage set because between Cecilia's S2 for an attack down and her S1 for a heal block, you'll probably have a debuff. So Rage set's kind of nice, though you can go with a Destruction set. Probably better damage on Destruction set. And my Tamarin's just a standard Tamarin. There's nothing fancy about her, just average speed. You don't need the ER, you don't need the F-Res. I just put a different artifact on her to boost some attack. Here's the thing, guys. Don't do this fight. Yet. We got Schneil coming out in a few days, and if you plan on pulling Schneil, I think he's going to be best in slot for this fight by a big margin. His entire kit reads like beating this fight. If you want to try this fight, check out the rankings and see what people are using. We got Landy, we've got Kowaric, we've got Luna relying on her S1 for extra hits. That's really, really good. Some people are relying on Euphine for the silence, because remember, you can do provoke, you can do reverse provoke, or you can do silence. I've seen people use Fairy Tale Tenebria. We got a Mad Lad in 2nd place using Ray instead of Tamarin, and that's working for him. So there's a lot of options in this fight as to who you can build and how you can make this fight work. But what's most important is that Schneil is going to be really, really good for this. He's going to change the top 10 big time. And secondly, in just a few days, we will have a unequip event coming up. I think it starts on Wednesday. It starts on Wednesday. And we have free unequip for several days. And this is an event that if you want to push for a high score, you'll probably want to ungear for. So go ahead and wait until we have free unequip, and then you can move your gear around, experiment with different teams, try to find answers. But if you just want to get Triple S Plus knocked out and get it over and done with, go ahead and use this team. Gear a little better than I geared and go for it. And if you've got an unequip ticket burning in your inbox, make sure you use it before the unequip event weekend. They do not stack or extend. It's just going to be gone. So I hope this team helps you guys out. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Once Schneil comes out, I will run a full-on new team for a maximum high score, and hopefully we'll have that video out during the unequip event. That's all for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you guys have a great rest of your day.